The wind is blowing strongly and here we are, way-ho, out of shore. The sails have caught the wind, now the treasure isn't far, way-ho, out of shore.
Sea shanties have recently gained a lot of popularity again through TikTok. But what are sea shanties? What do you think of? Pirate songs, the Caribbean, rum, treasure, conquest, Johnny Depp? Yeah. All in all, they're all just another brick in the pirate wall. Well, except sea shanties themselves. Now hear me out.
The music that you just heard isn't exactly an historically correct sea shanty.
In fact, it isn't really a sea shanty at all, but it uses some of the shanty's characteristics. Oh, and by the way, if you enjoy that song, there's a full-length version of it available. Here's the treasure map. Go and see if you can find it. Now, why wasn't that song a sea shanty then? Because sea shanties that had become prominent in the mid-19th century were actually sung a cappella, meaning without any instruments. Only the sailors' own voices were used as their hands were occupied doing labor aboard the ship. These chants were in fact work songs, similar to what slaves in America used to sing around that same time. So what's the purpose with work songs? You're never getting blasted with these tunes when calling customer support if your computer breaks down. Hello, customer support, how may I help you? Well, my computer broke down and I don't know what to do.
Have you tried to turn it off and on again? Have you tried to turn it off and on again? Have you tried to turn it off and on? Now stop being a...
Well, maybe in those over-the-top musicals, but that's not the point. Aboard the ships, the crew had to do some pretty heavy tasks by raising sails and anchors, carrying barrels of cargo, preferably rum. These tasks were much easier when the whole crew were in sync with each other. Perhaps you have played the game Tug of War on a camp or something. The goal is for your team to pull the other team over the line in the middle. And the only way for your team to win is if you are pulling together in the same rhythm and as one unit. It's exactly the same when raising these enormous sails, and with that in mind, we can take a closer look at the structure of traditional sea shanties. The chant will often start with one man singing a verse alone, calling out for the chant to begin. He was labeled the shanty man, and what we today would call a lead singer. This verse was followed by the rest of the crew joining in on a chorus.
I thought I heard the old man say, "Leave her, Johnny, leave her."
Here they will either all sing together in unison or create some simple harmonies. While the verse continuously brings new lyrics to convey the story of the song. The chorus always contains the same lyrics with the same rhythmic pattern each time, making it easy to remember and easy to join in on. The rhythms typically revolve around a heavy second beat in the bar, making the first beat the time for preparing your grip, and the second beat the time for pulling. The famous sea shanty Drunken Sailor exemplifies this pretty well.
Way, hey, and up she rises, way, hey, and up she rises, way, hey, and up she rises, early in the morning.
I would also like to add that this simple formula of verse, chorus is repeated again and again until you run out of lyrics, basically. Now, earlier in the video, I told you that sea shanties recently gained popularity again through TikTok. So here's what happened. The Wellerman is an old tune that bears this same pattern. Verse, chorus, and so on. Nathan Evans posted himself singing this song. And since TikTok is an app that lets you record your own sound on top of other people's posts, this allowed for people all over the world to join in on the chorus, much like the crew would do on a ship in the 1800s. We saw a lot of bass singers give it their try, and since I'm a bass singer myself, I decided to make my very own little pirate crew.
Once was a ship that put to sea. The name of the ship was a Billy of Tea. The winds blew up her bow, dipped down below, my Billy boys blow.
Soon may the Wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go.
Now, I'm sorry to sink your ship, but the way people on TikTok add harmony to this song, myself included, is in fact not correct at all according to what you would actually hear on a real sea shanty. This harmony is far too complex or elegant, but it is what we tend to redeem as beautiful, cool, or nice to listen to. This kind of harmony is made out of thirds, sixths, and other intervals we use to create tension and release in the music we typically listen to. The purpose of singing sea shanties was not to create beautiful music with each other. Most of the sailors weren't musicians at all. In fact, they were sailors.
The wind is blowing strongly, and here we are.
Way-ho, out of shore.
The goal was simply to make the work easier and more enjoyable. So, what was the foundation of the harmony then? Well, it's actually quite simple. The harmonies arose because different voices have different registers, or certain pitches that are easier to sing than others. For example, me as a bass singer, I find this note very comfortable and easy to sing.
Ba,
Try and see if you can hit that same very note.
ba.
If you are a guy, chances are you will be able to hit it, but you might feel yourself stretching down to reach it. In which case, you're most likely a tenor singer, and this note might be more comfortable for you to sing.
Ba.
The difference in registers between basses and tenor singers typically is around a fifth, as we just demonstrated. So, that's it. That's the foundation of the harmonies. People were just singing the notes that came naturally and were easy to sing, thus creating a lot of fifths. Oh, and I would also like to mention that the reason I'm not talking about women's voices is because, well, these workers were in fact mostly men. Now, have a listen to the Wellerman once again, but without that fancy-ass harmony, and instead using these more authentic harmonies.
That put to sea. The name of the ship was a Billy of Tea. The winds blew up her bow, dipped down below, my Billy boys blow.
Soon may the Wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go.
Now, which one did you prefer the most? As the 19th century was nearing its end, traditional ships had mostly been replaced by steam-powered ships, and machines had taken over the job of raising the anchor and lowering the sails and so on. As the 20th century began, sea shanties no longer served a big purpose and was gradually more and more neglected. But since older sailors still remembered these tunes and had them close to their heart, they became a part of land-based leisure songs. And now, since you could sing without working, your hands were available, allowing for musical instruments to join in on the party. And as the years went on, different influences and inspirations affected the sound. So today, we hear musicians making music that are supposed to sound sea shanty-esque, or pirate-esque. Just like the song I played for you in the beginning of this video. If you liked what you heard, here's the treasure map once again. Try and see if you can find the full-length version of it. Thank you so much for sticking around and watching the whole video. I truly appreciate that, and I hope you learned something. If you did, then please hit that thumbs up button, and yeah, take care. I actually started making this video over 2 weeks ago or something, and in the meantime, the almighty Lord Adam Neely himself published a video on this very same topic. So there's that. Yes, this is a ripoff.